my name is Anna Benza. Welcome back to my channel. I am going through these LeetCode problems, and we are on question number 73, which is set matrix zones. You guys, again, are more than welcome to read this question on your own time. But the Spark Notes version of this is you're given m and n matrix of integers, and if the element in the matrix is 0, then you need to set its entire row and its entire column to 0. So let us jump into this solution here that I did on the 10th, which was about 4 days ago, or 4 days ago. So this is what I submitted, and it did okay in runtime. It's over 50, so that's good. But this only beat 32% of users using Python, so memory was not as good. So take my solution with a grain of salt, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So we started off by determining the number of rows, in this case m, and columns n in the matrix. Then we check to see if the first row and first column of the matrix contain any zeros, and it uses the any function to check to see if there are zeros in these rows and columns. The code then iterates through a matrix to check if there are any zeros in the rows and columns, and if the first row doesn't have it, then it iterates through the second row and the second column, skipping the first row and the first column. So if an element matrix ij is 0, then it sets the corresponding elements of the first row and the first column to 0 as markers, and this is done by this matrix io matrix j to 0. So after the first pass, the markers in the first row and the first column indicate which rows and columns need to be zeroed. In the second pass, the code iterates through the matrix again, starting from the second row, second column, kind of like I was saying before. So if either matrix io or matrix oj is 0, indicating that the row or column should be 0, then it sets matrix I and j to 0. Finally, we check to see if the first row has zeros and first column has 0 variables to determine if the first row and first column need to be zeroed, and if so, it sets all of the elements in the first row or first column to 0. So I was trying to keep this as efficient as possible by only using 2 additional variables for tracking the status of the first row and first column, and then perform a matrix modification in 2 passes. So I was trying to optimize that space complexity compared to another solution I had started that was going to be using a separate matrix for making zeros. But 2020 hindsight, I probably should have gone the other route, but that is my explanation of my solution. So I have this code in my GitHub repo, which is linked down in the video description below. You guys are more than welcome to fork and clone, make it better, make it worse, have some fun, learn something new, and also give me some feedback if you guys are interested. I'm not without the realm of trying to improve myself. That's why I'm doing this in the first place. So it's to improve how I'm describing these things and also how I'm doing these things. So feel free to leave it in any video comment if you have a suggestion or a comment or something maybe that you've done that could help in the future for thinking about these things, because my brain just looks at things in like patterns. So when it sees a pattern, when it sees something that's a recognizable pattern, that's just what it does. But if you have a better solution, please reach out. Say something to your girl. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.